accident. One more thing I don't need. Tuesday from maple syrup. Alright. It's a Jared Warlock sandwich, so. Food's good. Team name. Okay. Mage. He brought Warlock. Cal against Maniaps, got it. Okay. Okay. It's not working out the right way. Oh, controls of sheep. Oh, sheep. Druid Mage. Druid Mage Paladin Warrior.
Furion versus Rexxar.
Let the hunt begin. I must protect the wild.
Everyone, welcome to your Salty Saturday. It is myself, Josh Sampson, the one and only, here with Blue Spartan, bringing you hopefully a really good match today. We're really excited about it, and Blue Spartan's going to be running a lot of the background things, so it's going to be a lot of me talking and not a lot of him talking, but that's all right. That said, we do have only one match today because of some technical difficulties on one of our stream operators' side. Blue Spartan hopping in and being the champ to make this stream happen. We definitely appreciate it, Blue.
No problem.
That said, we do have a Sylvanas match for you tonight. We have Kel from Team Next Level versus Matty Ebbs from Explosive Sheep, which I think is going to be a really good matchup. Looking at their lineups and stuff, it's going to be really interesting to see exactly what they ban, what ends up happening this match. So between the two of them, looking not only just their classes but the teams themselves, both of them had a really rough week one. Both teams lost. Explosive Sheep lost 10-16, and Team Next Level actually only put up 6 points last week against 65 million boars. So they both have really rough weeks, and actually both of the players we have on stream actually lost their matches playing in the 3 seeds. So both these players are coming in hot. They're really hoping to turn this season around and own it. So it should be a really good match. We have Druid and Warlock from both of them, and then both the other classes are different, which is really interesting. A lot of times it's 3 of the same and then 1 different. We actually have like a big mix here with Kel bringing Priest and Rogue, and Matty Ebbs bringing Mage and Paladin. What do you think about that, Blue?
Oh man, I think we're kind of in the middle of a coin flip meta, and it's so hard to figure out, what somebody's going to bring. Like, is that Mage Tempo Mage? Is it Control Mage? Is that Rogue Odd? Is it Quest? So it's really hard to read these lineups and know what's coming. So you can look at the classes, but it depends on what they choose to bring, whether this matchup's better than that matchup. So it's very intriguing. It's going to be just almost like opening a present every game. See what's in the box.
No, like every single one of these decks can be like 3 different decks. So it's going to be interesting to see what they bring. And Sylvanas is interesting, and like when you have a rag match, you can really just bring kind of the best decks, whatever you think is just I'm going to have the best positive matchup kind of all around, and even then you get to target things. You can be like, cool, I'm just going to make sure every deck I have is just going to beat this Paladin. You can't do that in Sylvanas, because as we know, Sylvanas is last chair standing, so you have this intricate situation where like you have to be able to beat everything in some way, shape, or form. You have to beat all of your opponent's decks, and there's no targeting. You have to just bring a bunch of really good decks that are good against at least the large majority of their field, and it's hard to do that when you can't really predict what they're bringing. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. It looks like they are currently doing the bans for us, so we're waiting on our players here, and as soon as they are done and ready, we'll get going.
Sounds good.
Message them real quick and see where they're at. All right, but yeah, so I think it's interesting because, like we said, the Priest has kind of a couple of different options that it can go. The large majority of people currently are playing the Mind Blast Dragon Priest, and kind of the other option is you run the Enter Fire combo. Every once in a blue moon, you see somebody bring Quest Priest, but it's not really popular. I probably expect the Priest to be the Dragon Mind Blast shenanigans that the large majority of players are playing. Looking at the Rogue though, that's tough, because if from Kel's side, if Matty Ebbs is bringing us a bunch of aggressive decks, which he can bring Zoolock, any of the Paladins really, Tempo Mage, and Spiteful Druid. You can't bring Quest Rogue, but if you bring Quest Rogue and they're playing Control Warlock and a mid-rangey Paladin and Control Mage and Taunt Druid, you can't lose. So the Rogue is a huge gamble, I think, this week for Kel, and which version he brought.
It seems like high risk, high reward, Because you guess right, you get rewarded. You guess wrong, you get punished, and that's kind of the way it is with a coin flip meta like we're in right now.
Right. On Madiev's side, like, kind of, I think it matches. It really matters on what version of mage he brings versus what type of. I think that's where it pivots, is the mage versus rogue, because priest should beat the paladin like 90% of the time. Like, yeah, I think it's gonna matter on whether Kel like brought quest rogue and Madiev's brought control, and or he brought quest rogue and Madiev's brought tempo, and then Madiev's wins, or if it's odd and he brought control priest or control mage, then Madiev's gonna take it. Like, it's interesting. So we're really excited to see what they end up doing. Okay, so I do have their bans in. So it does look like Madiev's has banned Kel's Warlock. So we do not have Warlock on Kel's side. And Kel actually banned Madiev's Mage, which I think is a great call. By banning that mage, is, like I said, that's kind of the flex spot that I was really worried about on like what Madiev's is doing. And if Kel's banning it, then he's saying, I don't want to even worry about this. I just want my lineup to be against this Warlock, this Druid, or this Paladin. With that ban, I probably expect a Priest lead from Kel. Just so that way, if Madiev's brings Paladin, you get to target it, you get that easy win in, and then you bring Quest Rogue and you can't lose. So I think that's a good call on Kel's part. And they're going to go ahead and start for us, and we'll get into this game. But yeah, so I really like the ban from Kel's part. I think, like, Madiev's could have just, like, feared the rogue. Maybe he's hoping that it's just odd rogue and he's going to try to target it and kind of take that high-risk, high-reward gamble. So it's going to be interesting. And they're going and preparing, so they're picking their classes now and hopping in. So yeah, once again, Kel cannot play his Warlock, and Madiev's cannot play his Mage. All right.
So do you think that tells us what kind of rogue it is, just from the...
Yeah, with that ban, I expect it to be Quest.
I think so.
And then he's just hoping to, like, probably lead with Priest, hit the Paladin off the bat, and then they'll have the Rogue just come back and clean up the Druid and the Warlock. And yeah, Kel does lead with the Priest. Madiev's correctly does not bring Paladin. And then we're going to go ahead and look at these decks. On Madiev's side, we do see the Warlock does appear to be the normal cube/control lock. You don't really know which yet. With the Dark Pact, usually that means that it's going to be cube lock. Fitting Mountain Giants into cube lock can sometimes be difficult, so it's going to be interesting to see what he cut to fit the Mountain Giants in. And then Kel's side, he is playing the Dragon variant of Priest. Did you... no audio's coming through, apparently? Did you forget to unmute it?
We have audio on my screen, so I'll check into that.
Okay. Yep, I'll look at it on my side. I see what it's doing. We're good. But yeah, so we see the standard, like, turn 1 Librarian into turn 2 tap from Madiev's. Kel just says, I don't need to put anything on the board. I have my Ooze for your turn 5 Skull of Minari if you have it, which we do now obviously see that we do have a cube variant of Warlock. I really like the Skulking Geist tech from Kel, though. That's going to hit the Dark Packs, it's going to hit Mortal Coils. It's going to be really good to keep him off of being able to kind of cube combo him out of nowhere. hero powers, and yeah, we're gonna probably see the Mountain Giant come down. All right, perfect. And yeah, so we kind of see Kel just trying to decide what he's going to do, and he's just going to probably Twilight Acolyte the 8/8. Just says, I'm going to have a big threat. I'm going to be able to Power Word Shield this, so having an 8/6 on turn 5 is really good. Oh, never mind, I'm going to have an 8/8. Nice Giant you have there. Really, really strong, just being able to say, you know what, I don't care what you're doing, it's mine now. I actually really like the line from Matiebs of attacking face with the Giant and then cubing and dark pacting it, but he needs to attack first. Like, there's no reason to not attack. There he goes. There we go. But yeah, I would expect like cube, coin, dark pact, and then he just gets 2 8/8s back, which I think is huge. Like, yes, Kel gets to trade into one of them, but if he took the line of acolyting it instead of like removing it from the board with like a Shadow Word Death, like this seems like the correct line. Also makes it to where the Skulking Geist that's sitting in Kel's hand isn't as good as it was 1 turn ago. But yeah, there we are. Like I said, I expect the Skulking Geist to come down. There's no reason for it not to. With Kel playing Acolytes and stuff, he might not be running Mind Blast. Instead, he might be running the Inner Fire combo where you can just kind of steal stuff and have...
No, it looks like combo to me. I'm not combo, but it looks like it's the control.
Oh yeah, he does have a Mind Blast hidden in there in the middle.
Yeah, and Acolyte is a tech card that's sometimes included in that. So that's consistent with the control priest that we've been seeing a lot of.
Yep. Perfect. I expect him to just kind of trade his 8/8 in here. You probably lead with the Librarian just to say, hey, what do I get? The Skulking Geist did hit 1 Dark Pact and 1 Mortal Coil, though. Had him out of deck. We see the other Q pickup, which is going to be huge. The hope for Matiebs is to eventually draw his Skull of Minari and be able to cube the Doom Guards, so his Blood Reaver can bring back more Doom Guards, because that's really how you win this matchup, is by trying to outrace them. The longer the game goes, the higher chance that the Priest has to win it, actually. They'll start Shadow Visioning more, Mind Blast, and eventually just 20 you out of nowhere, and that is not good. Matieb's sitting at 9 cards. He says, I don't need a trade, I'm just going to push Damage Face. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm wondering, does he get punished for that? I'm not sure he does.
Yeah, because he's 1 off from being able to clear. Oh, interesting. Oh, no, because he has... Oh, that was a misplay. He doesn't have enough mana to play any of his spells to kill it. Oh no, Kel didn't think that through. Brutal.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's gonna take 8. He can heal to 16.
Yeah, you just have to divine him.
Well, yeah, he can heal up to 20 with the spell. He needs to do that, because, I mean, you never know. I mean, 1 Doom Guard just makes 13, and that's always worth doing for lethal. So.
Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me if we just see hit 8, play Cube. I want to keep my guy alive. Especially when you see Kel, like, reach for a card, almost play it, and then stop. Like, you have to know if that's Pyromancer, right? It's just, yeah, like,
Yeah, I mean, if you're alert, that's a good read.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can see cubing the Mountain Giant, because, and we saw this in the playoffs today, if you're watching the HCT playoffs, that there's no answer for 2 8/8s. And even though he can't, the only problem is he can't pop it open. If he had a Dark Pact, then it would be a really formidable board.
Right.
That's the problem with it. But he could trade in and do a Hellfire and be set up for next turn. But does that give Kel enough time to set up some sort of answer? I don't think he's going to be able to burn him down, but he can heal a couple times. Maybe buys enough time. to
Yeah,
pull
there's
this off.
actually a really funny line where like Kel can like if Matty trades into like either of these and then health. Okay, so if he kills the cube this turn, it doesn't work. But if he keeps the cube alive, like Kel could actually like heal the carnivorous cube and just like hope to mind control it later on. But
Right, but Hellfire looks
Matty
like a good
says,
play here.
oh yeah, Matty is just like, nope, I want some 8/8s. You need to deal with these right now. And ooh, what a top deck!
Wow, is
And Kel
right.
sends the wow of I'm sorry.
Wow is right.
That was the top of my deck. What a draw. That was I think the only answer that Kel could have drawn outside of like a Psychic Scream. And Psychic Scream there isn't actually that good because you really want to save that to tuck the Void Lords and such back in.
Well, it was an answer he desperately needed.
Yes, it was.
So
And we're probably going to see the mind control coming back down from Kel. Just say, you know what? Nope, that Void Lord's now mine. That's what it's in there for. And sure enough, we see it.
that lackey's just stranded. He drew all
Yes,
his
it is.
demons, so I was starting to wonder, could he have done a lackey play? Well, there's nothing left for lackey to drop. Now, usually I only
Alright, so we do
run
see
one
the Shadow
mind
Visions
control.
pick up. Yeah, usually it's only one mind control. We're gonna see the Shadow Visions hopefully picking up another Mind Blast. And it wouldn't surprise me if he just takes Shadow Visions here and then pings and Shadow Visions again. And just starts, yep, I'm just gonna send all this damage face. I'm gonna force you to heal or kill me. And you're not gonna kill me through a Void Lord. I love it.
Well, it's fueling the machine gun.
Pew 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 pew.
Kaboom.
Right. So Mediev on his side, like, is really, really unfortunate he hasn't drawn Skull of Minari and that he has both Doomguards on his hands, so the lackey's dead. With 9 cards left, like, he doesn't have a good way of putting in the Doomguards. And playing Gul'dan here isn't good, but you have to fear, like, he Shadow Vision so much that, like, he's gonna have the answers. That's interesting. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that line.
Well, he just got out of lethal, so that's... He died
Right.
right back in lethal, but
Ye-
at least they made him have Alex.
Right.
Bring life and death.
A body forged in blood.
See the Gul'dan. Yeah, this is why I didn't really like that line. Like, he could have put more damage onto the Void Lord, so that way his Gul'dan was more relevant. Last turn, like, instead of, like, he sent the 3 damage at the Void Lord with his Spellstone instead of hitting the Void Lord with his own Void Lord. And there could have been potential for setting up to where the Void Lord dies, so you actually bring it back. But
Darkness speaks to me.
The only real bright side of this is he does get access to more healing at 3 a turn. So,
Yes.
will it be enough? Well, depends how long it takes the 8/8 dragon to break through, but you do have a Twisting Other play.
yeah. Fortunately, Twisting Other isn't as good when you can't kill your own demons that are just going to come back, right?